The rain was falling heavily on the asphalt when Clara saw, for the first time in 7 years, the face she had never been able to forget. She was sitting in the front seat of a bus, stopped at a traffic light, protected by fogged-up windows, when her eyes fell on the man standing on the sidewalk, an old blanket draped over his shoulders and his shoes soaked with mud. She squinted. It couldn't be, but it was. The light changed, the bus moved forward, and she turned in her seat to try to keep seeing him, even if only for a second longer. Her heart was beating like it hadn't in a long time. Clara got off at the next stop, running back through the rain while ignoring the curious looks of those passing by. He was still there, standing in front of a closed restaurant, shivering. Caio. The man looked up slowly, as if that name was a buried memory. Clara? She covered her mouth with her hands. He was dirty, thinner, with a distant look in his, eyes and sunken in. But it was him, alive. I thought you were... Everyone said you were dead. Caio tried to smile, but the gesture died halfway. He lowered his head. I thought it was better this way. What? Caio, you disappeared. Without a letter, without a word. I looked for you. He took a step back, his eyes skipping hers. You shouldn't be here. You need help. Come with me, please. Caio hesitated. Finally, he accepted the arm she extended. They climbed into a taxi, silently. Clara glanced at him, trying to understand what time and pain had done to the man she loved. They arrived at her apartment, a small, simple place, but warm and clean. He huddled on the edge of the couch, as if he were afraid to touch anything. I'll prepare a hot bath. After that, I'll give you clean clothes and food. Then we'll talk. He nodded. When he came out of the bathroom, wrapped in a towel, Clara almost cried. Even with his unshaven beard and his hair cut too short, it was him, her Caio, the man she imagined seeing in dreams, in memories, on the streets, in every anonymous face. And now he was here. Where have you been? He took a deep breath. Arrested. Her eyes widened. But they said you died on the mission, that your name was on the list. It would have been easier to consider me dead, a mistake or convenience. I was arrested due to a miscarriage of justice, but no one cared, not the army, not anyone. I was only released 2 months ago. Clara put her hand over her mouth, her eyes filled with tears. Caio, I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. I just needed a dry place tonight. I'm leaving tomorrow. Don't go. I can't let you leave like this. He was silent. That night, he slept on the couch and she barely slept. His face, his presence, brought back everything she had, forcibly, buried. The next day, before she left for work, her husband arrived, Hector, tall, elegant, always with a rehearsed smile. Clara froze when she saw him standing in the doorway, watching Caio lying on the couch. Who is this? It's a friend, an acquaintance. He was on the street, cold. Hector entered slowly. His eyes scanned the room calmly, then settled on Caio, who was now sitting down. And you let a stranger sleep in our house. He is not a stranger. Are you hiding something from me? Caio stood up, his voice firm. I'm Caio Oliveira. Hector looked at him for a long time. His eyes narrowed. The soldier who died. Interesting. So you're alive? Yes. And you decided to show up now? It was an accident. I didn't expect to meet Clara. She just helped me. Hector approached Clara. I need to talk to you. Now. Clara followed him into the bedroom, feeling her stomach churn. Are you crazy bringing this man here? He has nowhere to go, and he's a good person. He's suffered enough. And you? Do you still have feelings for him? She hesitated, and silence was the answer Hector feared most. I understand. He took a step toward her, but know one thing. This marriage is not going to end like this. I'm not going to let you throw it all away for some damn ghost from the past. I am not your possession, Hector. Oh no, then respect me as your husband and get that jerk out of my house. I won't do that. Hector clenched his fists, but he said nothing more. In the days that followed, the atmosphere became unbearable. Clara would sneak food to Caio. They would talk in low voices during tense nights. She felt that her life was splitting into two worlds, the one she had and the one she wanted. Until one night when she came back from work early, Clara heard screams. Caio's screams. He ran into the house. Hector had thrown him to the ground and was kicking him. "Stop!" she shouted. Hector turned around. "He's leaving today, or I'll end this myself." She ran to Caio and protected him with her body. "If you touch him again, I'll report you." Hector stared at her. "And destroy your life too? You know no one will stand by you." "Then try." Caio, with difficulty, got up. "I'm leaving." "No!" Clara held him back. "Not this time." But he was already walking out the door, limping. That night, she made up her mind. She packed her bags. She left a note on the table. "I'm not yours anymore. And I never was. You just took what was left of me when I thought love had died. Now it's back, and with it, me too." He left with his heart racing. He needed to find Caio before the world swallowed him up again. Clara ran through the wet streets, feeling the rain mix with the tears that escaped her eyes. She knew she couldn't leave him alone. Not now. When she reached the hostel, where Caio had mentioned he would be staying temporarily, the place was almost empty, except for a tired-looking woman behind the counter. "Caio?" Clara asked, her voice breaking. The woman looked at her suspiciously. "He left a few hours ago. He said he was meeting someone. He left a letter." Clara took the letter tremblingly. His words were simple, but filled with a regret that tightened her chest. "Clara, I don't want you to put yourself in danger because of me. I know my past has brought you too much pain. I'm going to step away so you can live in peace, even if it breaks me. I will always love you, Caio." Clara felt her world collapsing, but her determination only grew. "Where did he go?" he asked, almost begging. "He said he was going to the abandoned orphanage in the old neighborhood. That was our refuge when we were children." Without thinking twice, Clara set off for the old neighborhood, her steps firm despite the weight on her heart. When she arrived, the scene was desolate, peeling walls, broken windows, heavy silence. She entered carefully, the smell of mold and oblivion dominating the air. In the darkest corner of the courtyard he saw Caio sitting, his eyes lost on the ground. Caio!" He raised his head, his gaze surprised and sad. "Why did you come here?" "Because I won't let you give up. Because I still believe in us." Caio smiled with difficulty, the tears finally escaping. "I've always been a coward. I ran away when I needed to fight the most. But seeing you here gives me strength." She came closer, holding his hand firmly. "Let's rebuild Caio, together." A noise behind them made them turn quickly. Hector, his face contorted with rage, was pointing a shaking gun. "They won't run away from me. This house, this marriage, everything is mine." Clara felt the cold threat, but she didn't let go of his hand. "This ends here, Hector. We are not afraid." He took a step forward, but before he could act, sirens echoed down the street. A neighbor had called the police, tired of the fighting and threats. Hector hesitated, tension cutting through the air. With no other option, he dropped the gun and fled through the back door. Clara and Caio looked at each other, relief flooding their hearts. "Now we can really start," Clara said, smiling through her tears. He squeezed her hand, feeling for the first time in a long time that he was home. The sun began to rise, painting the sky with orange and pink hues, while Clara and Caio sat on the park bench side by side, breathing in the fresh morning air. After turbulent weeks, they finally found some peace. The scars of the past were still there, both visible and invisible, but together they felt they could heal them. Caio had started working in a small workshop, and Clara was returning to her studies, dreaming of a future that had previously seemed impossible. They spoke little, letting the comfortable silence fill the space between them. In that calm, Clara felt the certainty that true love does not fade, even after the greatest storms. Caio turned to her, held her hand, and smiled. "Thank you for not giving up on me." "I would never give up," she replied, her voice firm. "You showed me what true courage is." They hugged, feeling that they had finally found their way back home, not to a place, but to each other. And so, between whispered promises and a future to build, Clara and Caio left the past behind, ready to write together the new story they always wanted to live.